Howdy folks, welcome back once more to The Shed. A very, very fine day today. Hope everybody can hear me. Yes, the teeth are in and we're raring to go. Yesterday, quite a cool day, considering what we've had just recently. Sounds good, thank you, Grandpa. Great to see you, JD. Hope this morning is the sun is shining down on America. And indeed, in Ireland. Welcome to Dara. Nice to see you. I hope the get the teeth in. The Emerald Isle is excessively green today. Smallwood Junction is Paul and Paris. Very good afternoon to you. Hi, Gollum. That'll be me. Hello, Paul. Nice to see you. Chuck Schreiber. A very good morning to you, Chuck. And indeed, hello to everybody on the stream. Signal Cabin has joined us. Very good morning there. Is Signal Cabin Joe? I could be wrong, but you can always correct me in the chat. Joe Signal. Yes, there's a gentle breeze blowing today. Not excessively hot like we've had just recently. To distinguish from Joe Raider. I see. Haven't seen Joe yet, but it's early morning. Just do remember that it's early morning in the USA. So I'm extremely grateful for those participants from the Fair Nation that have joined us. And there's Eric. Hello, Eric. A very good morning to you. I hope today finds you well and fizzing, as usual. I did notice that Eric had a mail call, but it had just gotten so late that I just had to go to bed. So I'll catch up with that, Eric, and I will watch that. So I'll be interested to see what you've got. Aaronville, yes, lunchtime indeed. Yes, the stomach is rolling somewhat. It was such a comfortable night's sleep for a change because the temperature had dropped yesterday. You're welcome, Eric. The temperature had dropped a bit yesterday, and I think when I went to bed it was something like 14 degrees, which is comfortable. You can have a light sheet or a light duvet on you and you get a perfect night's sleep, not too sweaty, and so it proved. A very refreshing night's sleep. But today has brought clear skies and the sun is out again. So hence the t-shirt. Flying Aces from Geneseo. I think it's Geneseo. Yeah, indeed. The Nationals, which is held in the States at Geneseo, which is, I think it's New York State. Friend of mine, Mike Stewart, who's a model flyer, he goes over there and he's very kind enough to bring me back a t-shirt. Yes, I've got some crazy friends. So he goes over there to compete with our American cousins. And yeah, he's a very, very talented model flyer. Midsummer Railway N Scale. Yeah, I know you're having some chemo drug side effects, so you just take it easy there. 156 Andrew has joined us. Very good afternoon to you, Andrew. I hope this fine weather has extended itself to Scotland, indeed. And there's Lyndon. Hey, surprise, surprise. Glad to see you in the chat, Lyndon. I hope you are recovering from your I don't know how to put that really. Surgery, I think is they all look pretty nasty. I did read the script and it was you've had a bit of medical trouble. So glad to see you in the chat, and if you're in the chat, you're feeling okay. So I hope that's true. Ben has joined us. Hello, Ben. How's Welsh Wales today? Is it sunny like it is here? I'm certainly not complaining about this weather. The amount of times I've sat here shivering with a coat on or a great big jersey or that kind of thing. Delft Junction Pete, a very good afternoon to you, Pete, and Sue. Beautiful day here. Yes, it is. It's yesterday was overcast and quite cool, which that's okay. And then you get a day like this, and we're back to full strength. Sam Parfitt has got a video out. So what am I running today? Sue says hi. Hey, hello, Sue. This is class A1. Is it an A1? No, it's not an A1. It's a Thompson. Forgive me a second. It's a Thompson class A2. And it has the funky name of Sugar Palm. Palm, palm, like palm of your hand. That's the one with the scar on it, where Blondie pulled me down a hillside when we was on holiday. But yeah, it's left me with a bit of a scar. But I knew it was too steep. It was like a 50% grade, a 45-degree angle, and I thought that's going to hurt. And sure enough, it did. So yeah, I was sitting there with a palm full of blood, and she's looking up to me and saying, "Oh, you're just an old man." Yeah, she's right. Yeah. I mean, it healed, but you can see the remnants of the skin destruction. But yeah, it just, as you get older, it just takes longer to heal, which is a bummer. Gallbladder infection, may still have to have it out. Oh yeah, I think that was quite a few hospital trips from what I read, Lyndon. I wish you better luck with that. Yeah, you may need to have it out, but yeah, my fingers are crossed for you. I look 21. What, with this amount of hair? 21? That was a long time ago. That was actually 40 years ago. Dear. Is it that long? Having said that, just there, look, I'm pointing there. That's a class 45. I'm not running it just at this very minute because it is a bit noisy. It's an old mainline model. For those of you look healthy, thank you, Greg. Very good day to you. No worries, Lyndon. When our brethren get struck down, it does make us sit up and take notice. There's been quite a dearth of illness and death, which is really hard to get around. And for those that are suffering that and suffering what that gives you, my condolences and everything I've got is yours. Wish I could lose my hair like that, Andy. I don't know. I can live with it. It's age and things get old and drop off and fall out and stuff like that. I'm not going to sit here wearing a syrup. I mean, I could do just as fun, have a great big quiff, but perhaps do a little Elvis. Maybe not. Yes, but I don't take that kind of vanity too seriously. So it is what it is. We will get old, and life's still fun. Yes, Thompson A2, which is whizzing past me there, with these Thompson coaches. Now, these were steel-bodied coaches, the real thing. but they painted them in a teak effect to match up with the rest of London North East Railway's teak stock. But these coaches by Bachmann are spectacularly good. The teak effect that they put on it is fabulous. And not only that, they run almost frictionless. So, I mean, I'm running that on the inner loop, and that's just that A2 is just tickling around. That's a fairly old Bachmann loco. Not even any tender pickups. It's just the loco itself, and it's quite happily tickling around with hardly any load. I've been managing to do some retail therapy. That's always good. Bought some locos, which I hope to film soon. That's even better. Wonderful tribute post with RGJ trains this morning. Yeah, the loss of a father is painful. Very painful. I've been through it myself, so I can empathise. It's not easy. Time is a great healer, but it's still not nice. However way you slice it, it's just it's there in front of you, and you have to deal with it. But not done a vlog for almost a month. Yeah, but Pete, we've had some spectacularly good weather, and I know you're quite big in caravanning, and caravanning is outdoors. And when you've got weather like this, blimey, Pete, go and enjoy it. I suppose you and Sue, yeah, get out there and catch some rays, as they say. Yeah, so that's the train I'm running at the moment. Very little noise comes out of this. The engine, apart from the gentle click of the valve gear, is almost silent. But if I run that this year class 45, things will change. Maura King, a very good afternoon to you, Maura. Hope everything is well with you. This model here, first produced in 1976 in the mainline range. Yeah, it's pretty standard pancake motor on one of its driving bogies. So it's not recent. I mean, this was the first challenge to Hornby of what was to come. These were highly detailed castings on the bodies, and they directly challenged Hornby and said, "Look, this is what we can do out in Hong Kong. Try and match this." And they bought this out. And now I remember when I bought this. This was the first model. Let me just bring it a little further into shot. I'll wait until the photo bombing is finished. But there it is, a class 45 in British Rail blue, corporate blue. I think I got this 1978. And the reason I say that is because that was when my dad bought me my bike, my push bike, 5-speed rally push bike. And that allowed me to get around legally on the roads. And I seem to remember chaining my bike up at Liverpool Street Station and going to get this with whatever pocket money I could get together. It was the first model that I bought. Pancake Motors notorious for being allowed GRE 2057. You are absolutely right. You can try and quieten these things down as much as you can, but not always possible. Tammy and Ray in the chat. Very nice to see you both. I hope you are both well and enjoying not too hot USA weather that we are having at the moment, and you are having. So yes, 1978 is what I think on this one. They were first produced in 76, so we're talking almost 50 years ago. So this thing here is 50 years old, nearly, and it was the first model I bought with my own money that I'd saved. So that would be birthdays, Christmas, whatever I could scrape together. And I remember distinctly where I got it. It was a shop opposite Liverpool Street Station. Those in the chat that live in the UK, perhaps around London, may know this place. And it was called Hadley's Hobbies, Hadley Hobbies. And it was opposite to Liverpool Street Station and off at a diagonal. So from the station front, you could see the shop, which was another street over. And I went over there, and that was the first time I went into a shop and bought anything completely on my own. And that was this Class 45, and I still have it. It still works. I did a little light maintenance because it probably hasn't been out of the box in 30 years. But it's still noisy. You can't get around it. It's still noisy. And the coaches that I've got with it are all Airfix vintage because Mainline took over Airfix's range. A Class 45 Peak, absolutely, yes. They had similar engines to the Class 47, which are still operating on our railways. And if you're fortunate enough to be out on some of the preserved railways, you will still see a Class 45, 44 or 46. They all look very much the same as that. Very much an American style nose sticking out the front. I think that was a bit of a fallout from the Deltic. The Deltic started that nose style. Ben still got his first 00 gauge set from 1986 in the attic. Yeah, but it's only when you pull it out that the memories start flooding back. And I was thinking to myself yesterday when I got this out, I thought, where on earth did I buy that? And then it came to me. It was Hadley Hobbies, and it was in Liverpool Street in London. Summer and winter. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to the winter. I have 46025, which is at the Severn Valley Railway. Oh, okay, that's super. That's super. But this was the first basic Class 45 that anyone had bought out. Hornby didn't make one. Bachmann took over Mainline when they finished. Some of Mainline stuff. Some of it went to, I can't remember who it was. It wasn't Ratio Models. Replica Models. They did some of the coaches that Mainline had produced. So it started off being Airfix. It went to Mainline. Mainline finished in the early to mid 80s. Then Bachmann took it on, and they're still with us today. The A2 is a Bachmann, and all of these Thomson coaches, they are all Bachmann. So it's sort of a non-Hornby day today. These are all direct challenges to Hornby. And yeah, everything still works. Touch wood. I have a Bachmann Class 45 as well, Andy. Yeah, I noticed when they used these, I think these mouldings were so sharp that Bachmann used them and then just took all the guts out of the machine. And then they started to make what we know today, a huge metal block with a centrally mounted motor, 2 shafts and gear towers. They took that from America, Europe, which have been working for years with Athearn and the old blue box locomotives. Fabulous. Um, a nice simple mechanism, and if you had it beefy enough to take the pushing the weight of that die cast block around, you're on a winner. And that's what Bachmann, excuse me, decided to do. So they upgraded this year class 45, and they brought out 44, 45, and 46. And I think it's only recently that they've updated the tooling to bring it into the 21st century. First ever G scale and HO scale 187 scale train sets were Bachmann. Hands down the best model out there for beginners. Yes, Hornby was still and are still doing sets. But when we saw these Bachmann locomotives come out, they were a leap forward. I mean, this one, I'm not sure. That may even be a split chassis. In fact, I would hazard a guess it probably is. But it still runs spectacularly well, even though it's, what would that be? 1990s to around the year 2000, around the spot where Hornby started to pick up its game, where they moved all of their tooling out to China, and they had a point to prove, which they then did, bringing out the rebuilt Bulledge first, the clan line, which was fabulous. Ian Melling, happy summer Sunday, and the same to you. It is spectacularly good today. The door's open. There's a gentle breeze that seems to be coming and going. It's not constant. It's intermittent. But yeah, nice and cool. A nice loose t-shirt, I think, is probably the way to go, unless you're doing some serious sunbathing today. Anyway, without much more ado, I'll get the Class 45 moving. Here's a trip down memory lane. It's got a rake of FX Mark IIDs on it, some of which are the 8-window ones, which Hornby never produced. They cheated, but Mainline and FX didn't. Just bear that in mind. Anyway, back to a conventional coffee today. Cheers, everybody. And yes, I did find time to make it. Anyway, let's spin this up, and you will see just what kind of sound this thing makes. It's not bad, actually. I mean, I've got a couple of models which sound like a concrete mixer. I mean, I think the wheels are very slightly out of gauge, because every now and then it will thump one of the metal frogs, because these are all electro frogs. Wham! It hits them, and you'll hear the clonk every now and then. Digger Evans, out and about, so watching from the phone. Enjoy your day, Digger, because this is, I don't think this weather's going to last much longer. So enjoy it, Digger. I know you're working hard on your shed as well. Nice to have a bit of a break and get out. I'll just slow this one down a little bit. Yeah, I heard it hit the frog there, a clunk. But there you go. Just been down the train cabin getting rid of creepy crawlies. Surprising how many get in after 10 days. Yeah, absolutely. The spiders have been having a field day in here. And of course, then you get the other invaders, and the spiders will then eat them and leave their carcasses all over the place. But this isn't running too bad. get you down on the track. You can see for yourself. But for a 50-year-old engine, no lights on it. Pancake drive, just on one of the bogies. And these are 8-wheel bogies. But they've got a funny articulation on 2 of the wheels. That was the way Mainline got around trying to get it onto set track, particularly things like Radius 1 and Radius 2. Not sure if it will get round the Radius 1, but the way they designed the bogie, it could at least have a stab at it. Right, let's get you down on the track. I'll bring you over this side, otherwise you might get a bit of interference from the sunlight. But let's try it for size. Here we go. There we go. Gotta go. Thank you, GRE, for coming in. I hope you've pressed the like button. That'd be very kind of you if you could do that on your way out. And have a lovely day. Andy Dobson has joined us. Hey, Andy. How are you, man? Oh, pair of tweezers. Here comes Class 45. This is an old mainline pancake drive. 50 years old and still going strong. Well, Andy, I hope the weather's as good where you are as it is here, because it's in the 80s and really good. I'm enjoying it. Trouble is, it does bring everyone else out into their gardens, so it has been a bit noisy this morning, but nothing we can't handle. Now I'm making some noise of my own. Sugar palms. I'm just gonna get sugar palm going a little faster. And Clive has joined us. Very good afternoon to you, Clive. Hope you've been doing your sunbathing. It'd be nice if you was doing your sunbathing on a concrete base, but maybe we shouldn't go there. I think it's probably a little too heavy on the sunlight for laying concrete in this kind of weather. And Montville Railways has joined us. A very good day to you down in the land down under. And Charlie has joined us from the Dominions of Canada. How's Canada today, Charlie? I know you've been a bit hot over there as well. Class 45. There it goes, 50 years old. There's those funky 8-window coaches that are very difficult to get actually. Thompson A2 and a rake of Thompson coaches to go with it. Metal body, but fake teak effect. And it was like that on the real thing as well. Class 45, 044, the Enniskillen, hang on, Enniskillen Fusilier, something like that. I'll check it out the next time it comes around with my fangled glasses. Here it comes. Yeah, the Enniskillen Fusilier. Well, JD, 78, now going 93 with a heat index of 107 today. John, we're not that hot here. I'd say we are comfortably around about 80 degrees, which for us limeys is about as much as we can stand. It has gotten to 100 plus degrees in this strange country before now, but it's very much the exception rather than the rule. John Dilly, do you mean to tell me that you've got air conditioning in your shed? No wonder they call you number one John. Yeah, I suppose if you get the temperatures regularly like you do, I'd say that was probably a good move. Yeah, Aaron, that's it's one of the few good views that I've got on there. When I start messing with the views, I start to pick myself apart about things I should and shouldn't have done. Yeah, the difference is with us, Digger, is that I think we'll probably spend more time heating it if you want to use it in the winter than air conditioning it in the summer. But you can, I suppose, use it for both, but you never get any real heat out of air conditioning units. They will only work so well. I think it's just the range of the heat exchangers, but I was in a school that had air conditioning for heating, and it was a mobile unit, but it didn't work very well. Yeah, same here, Mon. It's a shed. So in the winter, I'll stick on a little paraffin heater, and in the summer, I open the door, and that's about as far as cooling gets. But this is supposed to be a temporary. What am I trying to say? It's supposed to be a country where the temperatures don't go to ultimate extremes. So we'll get 0 degrees Celsius, like the freezing point of water, maybe -5, and then at the other extremes, it will be 90 degrees. It's not usually much more than that for very long. large tin, very large baseball, yeah. Yeah, that's an 8-degree difference, and at 28 degrees, that does make all the difference. I can't say I'm moaning because I've spent enough time shivering in this shed to know the difference. Not a shed, it's a train room. Well, that depends on your point of view there, Pete. Cheers, everybody. There's one thing I've noticed about this Bachmann A2. It does actually have a working Cartazzi axle. You know the way Hornby have decided to use flangeless wheels under the cab and effectively make it a Cartazzi axle where the whole thing doesn't swivel. Well, Bachmann did this with this model, which if you look under the cab, that's where it is. But that's the flanged wheel right there. They put a flanged wheel in there which moves on like a little box within the box. Obviously that means you can't take it down to extreme radiuses, but it just shows you what can be achieved. Yeah, Lyndon, it's running quite well. I did open it up yesterday just to have a look-see. Of course, the running gear was a bit bone dry, so I gave it a drink, cleaned the wheels. They were already fairly clean, but there was a little tarnish on them. This is only picking up from the opposite bogie to the motor. The motor has traction tyres, and they decided to take the electrical pickup from the other bogie complete. And that's only 4 wheels on that bogie. So it hasn't got much of a good pickup, but it doesn't stammer all over the place. A forced air furnace. And air conditioning in the place. And it's generally cooler than the rest of the house. Try to close the vents in the summer. Yeah, it sounds like a good solution there, Charlie. Light digger, cello checks, yeah, 50 mil in the floor, 100 in the walls and ceiling, double glazed doors and windows, cozy at night and cool during the day. Yeah, ideal. That does add quite a bit of price to the end result. But if that's a problem for you, that's the way to go around it. Clunk. I'd say Canada being described as nippy. I think that might be a bit of an understatement there, Digger. Just collected all the guttering for the shed, plus nearly 150 quid. Yeah, it's surprising how expensive that is. I just got some deep flow guttering for the back of the house, and that was something like 200 quid. I mean, I got all of that delivered, and a fair amount of that was delivery charges. But 4 meters of that is not cheap. And I suppose if you're going around a sizable shed, yeah, that's a lot of guttering and a lot of money. But yeah, you're right, Clive. It's not cheap. Yeah, Pete, I did see something from Dino. Again, illness has struck, and we just have to go with it. Um, and it certainly isn't easy to do things like live streams and things like that when your mind is elsewhere. So he's doing the right thing. He's taking a break, looking after his dad as much as he can. Yeah, tough times, as they say, tough times. Right, I'll drag you over the other side so you can see the front of Sugar Palm. Hang on to your breeches, ladies and gentlemen. There's Sugar Palm. Me like. Right, here goes. Try and keep you out of the sunlight. Creak, creak. How's that? Quote for you, PVC cladding, over 600. I'm only doing the front. And a third of it for the lean-to shed, yeah. Okay, enjoy your nap, Lyndon. Great to see you in there. And you take care, man. I have a turntable. Yes, I do. Yeah, turntable's just a bit over to your right. The turntable's had its motor removed, and I just move it manually. It has two lead-offs off of it, which I just use as sidings. But mostly I use that for turning locomotives. Um, Andrew, a very good afternoon to you. I got a feeling this is 30 frames per second. I think that's all that this HP camera can do. I think it's 30 FPS. Very good morning to James. How are you, James? I hope the old ticker is still satisfactory, and I hope you're recovering well. Yeah, Andrew, Hewlett Packard is that's the webcam, and it's got an integral microphone as well, which isn't bad actually. It just means I have to step a little closer to the camera, particularly with this
mainline class 45, 50 years old and still going. Well, it's been punching around here for about an hour now, and that's not bad for a 50-year-old loco. Marchwest Junction Andy, hello there. And Dave has just joined us, Mr. Scott Rails himself. I'll just give you a brief idea of what's running. On the inside track, we've got a Bachmann Class A2 Thompson, 462. Number is 526, and its name is Sugar Palm. And running past there, it's a Class 45 by Mainline, produced 1976. And these are Thompson coaches. Whoops, hey. The real thing were metal bodied and painted up to look teak. Yeah, Andrew, I don't think this camera's capable of 60 frames per second. It's a pretty stock Hewlett-Packard webcam. I didn't have one. The one on the laptop was not up to it, so Richard decided to get this for me, and I'm just grateful. So it was, for me, it was a freebie, but I've used it for a couple of years now, and it's been a super little camera. Eric, you take care now, man, and I'll be catching up on your mail call later. Cheers for now, Eric. For all our Canadian cousins in the chat, I've got one of those. Happy days. And Pete from Hermitage Road has joined us. Very good afternoon, Pete. Hope you're well. Bachmann Class A2 Sugar Palm, pulling some Thompson coaches. And a 50-year-old mainline Class 45, pulling some equally old Airfix Mark IIDs. Okay, Mon, catch you later. Take care. Yeah, Ben, it was great to see the stuff that you videoed in Alaska. If you've got any more of that, do feel free to share it if you can. Yeah, Ben, I noticed that you put in the comments that you'd lost your hat while riding on one of the open air coaches. And strangely enough, I was just thinking that. I wondered if his hat blew off. And strangely enough, it did. Yeah, Ben, do that. It'd be great to hear your take on Alaska. Obviously, there's loads of questions we'd love to ask you on the subject. So, yeah, feel free anytime to do a live stream. That'd be most interesting, particularly as you've got such a fantastic layout that you can share with us as well. Thanks for coming in, Pete and Sue. Have a great day. Enjoy your week, and I'll catch up with you soon. The Closet branch has joined us. A very good day to you. I hope today finds you well, Dax. Right, I'll try and give you a slightly different aspect to things. Let's just turn the camera around. You might actually see a bit of daylight as well. There we go. Here comes class 45. Well, that's very kind of you, Maura. There's a thumbs up from me. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And cheers, everybody. Canadian Locomotive Logistics, I do have my teeth in, has joined us. A very good morning to you. Here's a 50-year-old Class 45 pulling some suitable stock, and a Backman Class A2 Sugar Palm with some Thompson stock in faux teak. I'm sorry about the whizzy stuff going on in the background. It's just that the daylight tries to compete with the fluorescent lighting and gives you a 50 hertz buzz, I'm afraid. Yeah, you can just see the almost perceptible breeze blowing on the trees just outside. Quite a nice day here. Really, really nice. And there's Ed Hodge. Very good day to you, Ed. Where are you coming in from? Class 45, pulling some Mark 2D. And coming from behind you will be a Backman class. This is Backman UK, Class A2, number 526 in Apple Green, London North East Railway, Sugar Palm. Pulling some funky Thompson Teak Effect coaches. Really, really nice coaches, those. North Carolina. Now, there's a wonderful state, from what I hear. North Carolina, is that where Kitty Hawk is and the Wright brothers did their first flight? Correct me if I'm wrong. Fulger, Class 45. Mainline produced this back in 1976. I believe that I got this model in 1978. And it was the first model I bought out of my own pocket money. I got on my bike, went down to Liverpool Street Station in London and bought this from Hadley Hobbies. Now, sadly, no longer. Hadley Hobbies is no longer. But it was great having a model shop on top of the station, just like you had at King's Cross, which had King's Cross models just opposite in York Way. Yeah, thanks for that, Ed. Yes, yes, indeed. That's quite a trip from Dayton, Ohio, to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. But there is absolutely no doubt they were the first. Donegal Dad is live. Yes, run your loco on Sparky's layout. Hopefully not at Sparky speed though. Yeah, Charlie, isn't that now at the Henry Ford Museum? I believe they've got the most original Wright Flyer, and the whole workshop was transported to the Henry Ford Museum. Is that right? Yeah. Jerry Satriel was there for the first flight. Yeah, I'll bet. Oh, digger. Yes, the shed is roughly 8 by 12 on the outside. And yes, I do have to go under that way. This is removable. This whole section from there to there is removable. but I am thinking of putting in some hinges so I can do that. But that's a quite a sizable project, and that would take some time to do. I was going to set the maximum speed at 40 miles an hour. Yeah, I'd say that was diligent actually, particularly as he's got a helix, and you can quickly have a runaway. So yeah, I think that's probably a good call. Oh, I'm going to bring that one to a stop just about there. Yeah, layout will be a walk around, no lift ups or gates. Yeah, that's quite a good idea, Clive, actually. Otherwise, as we get older, it's more and more difficult to crawl under things like this. I mean, I don't really have a 6'2" frame, so it's not that difficult. A clickety click. Right, ladies and gents. Moving swiftly back to the PC. There's a t-shirt for you. DH4B, US mail plane, flying aces, whee! Geneseo, New York State, I believe. Right, ladies and gents. Oh no, does that mean I'm leaving? Yes, things are winding down. Things are winding down, and very slowly stopping. It's still creeping almost imperceptibly along. Stop right there. Hey, right. Let me just adjust the camera. Creak. Yeah, it's not a bad t-shirt. This was a freebie. There's a guy I know who's a brilliant aeroplanist, model aeroplanist. He goes over and competes with our American cousins at Geneseo in the Nationals, and he brings me very kind enough to bring me back a t-shirt. So indeed, thank you, Maura, for coming in. Thanks, Chuck. Always great to see you. Yes, the hour has gone fast. Ladies and gents, thank you very much for coming in and hitting the like button. Absolutely stupid. It's incredible how many people come in. Oh, you like it? Oh, thanks, Ed. It's absolutely amazing. It's I have to slap myself sometimes, but by the amazing technicalities of YouTube, we can actually talk to each other all over the world. It's crazy and stupid, but we love it. Ladies and gents, enjoy your day. The weather's here, so gonna have go and grab a bite to eat, and we'll see what comes up on the wonderful YouTube. Thanks for coming in. I did catch a couple of minutes of your live stream, Dave, but it was on a bit late, and I was tilting by that time. But yeah, I do look in when I can, Dave. Thanks, Paul. Andy Pandy. Yeah, remember Andy Pandy? For those guys in the UK, very popular puppet series. Brilliant. Thanks everyone for coming in, and I'll catch up with you in the streams. And if not, probably next Sunday. Don't know what I'll be running.
If Ben does decide to do a live stream, look out for that. And I'll catch you all very soon. Adios, amigos. Take care.